Hey, I just got off the phone with an auto repair shop owner. It's one of those calls that I just hate to do. I'll explain it all to you, so buckle up, because we're starting right now. Hey, it's Matthew. I know you think I'm doing a Casey Neistat impersonation, but I'm not. Listen, I just got off the phone, and I implore you, if you are an auto repair shop owner, listen and watch this entire video, because I'm going to give you tips on things that will save your butt, and you'll never have to have this phone call. I promise this is huge. Look, whether you know it or not, I handle several different automotive repair shop websites. We do exclusive hosting of just repair shops. Don't take this from me. Google says that 82% of your customers are going to find you first on a mobile phone. So is your repair shop website mobile friendly? But listen, that's not what this is about. I had a phone call from a client who said, my website's down. And we went and double checked, and here's what happened. The registrar of the website took the site down because the domain renewal wasn't complete. Now listen, look, this isn't a common occurrence, and I don't want it to happen to you. So I implore you to just hang on in this video and take some notes and be sure you do this. Look, what's happened is this. My client, like any of my clients, owns their domain name. Now, one of the things that you're going to run into with people that want to host your websites is they're going to tell you to transfer your domain name to them. That would be the same as you giving them the keys to the front door of your home. Your domain name ownership is totally different than hosting. So it's important that you understand that, and I'm going to show you how to double check this. I would prefer to be doing this in front of a computer, and I just might create a video showing you exactly how to do this. But here's what's critical. You've got to own your domain name, and then you have to be registered with that company to get notices and updates, and make sure that they're not going to your junk folder. Because what happened in the case of my client was he can't access his own account, which means if it's not renewed, they take the site down. It's got nothing to do with the hosting company. So here's a couple of things that I really want you to focus on. Number one, if you work with any of the website providers that host auto repair shop websites and they want you to transfer your domain to them, don't. It's not something that you want to do. Even though they tell you all those cutesy things that, they're going to maintain it, they're going to do this and do that, that's a bunch of Don't listen to them. The only thing they're going to do is charge you to get it back should you ever move your hosting. So that's rule number one. But what I really want you to do, and I'll put the links below, is go to this website and check your domain name. So what's important here is you're not looking for the registrar, you're looking for the registrant, meaning the person who owns the domain name. Now, here's what's really critical. If you don't own your domain name, you just handed the keys to the front door of your online house to somebody else. You wouldn't do that, would you? So what's important to do is look for the registrant of your domain. That's the person that owns it. Now, the only exception is that in some cases you're going to see that it's held by a privacy company. Now, it was pretty typical a few years ago that people would have their domain actually owned by a third-party privacy company so that you didn't get a bunch of spam mail from people looking to host you and stuff like that. That's not what I'm talking about. If your domain is technically owned by one of those privacy companies, you would know that. But otherwise, you should see your name or somebody that you recognize on that Whois form, and it should be you. Because if you don't own that domain, you don't have the keys to the front door of your house. And number two, If you do find that you own that domain, double check the registry date as well as the expiry date. This is really what's happened with respect to my client, where he wasn't getting the emails, or they weren't sending it, or whatever. It's a whole long story and I don't want to get into it, but it's always easier to maintain it properly than to try to get it back. So we're going through a bunch of things right now with respect to domain transfers and stuff like that. But look, just do yourself a favor. At the end of this video, take a minute, check the links down below. I'll link right up to the best place to check your data on your domain name and check it out. And if it's coming close, go ahead and get it renewed. I mean, domains are $8-10 a year. It's peanuts, because when it's down and you then try to recover it, it's a whole other issue. So do yourself a favor and double check that. This isn't about trying to sell you a website. This isn't about trying to do anything. This is about getting to be sure that you own your domain name. Now, if you have a question about that or you're unsure, go down below and ask the Car Account Fixer. Click that link and send me a message, or leave your questions in the comments section below. I respond to every comment all the time. But do this, and do it now. Don't leave it till, I'll do it after work. Do this now, because you will be surprised how many websites actually go down simply because they haven't been renewed. And you can scream at whoever you want, but it's not going to do any good. It's the person that owns the domain. So number one, I want you to go into the links below and enter your domain name at the Domain Tools website that I'll leave the link below. Number two, check the registrant. That's the person who owns the domain. Number three, if you know that this is handed off to a privacy company, then you might want to look into that, but you would probably know that if you registered the domain name. But if you don't find your name on that line that says registrant, that's the person that owns the domain. If your name's not there, sorry, I hate to have to tell you, you don't own your domain name. So right now, that's what you got to do. And please, don't leave this. Look, I implore you to do this now. Check it. You'd rather be safe than sorry, wouldn't you? But go ahead and do that, because right now, I got to get back to the office. It's a bright, sunny day here in Niagara Falls. We've got snow on the ground. Oh, and if you're in the south, yeah, it's pretty snow. But yes, it's a bright, sunny day. And it's still a little cold here, but do this now. I implore you to do it. I don't want to sound like a nag, but listen, when it happens, when you get whacked in the head with your domain down and then you don't know who to contact, there's never a place that you can phone or an easy access phone number. It's just not there. So do this now, and if you have to, go ahead and re-register and add to your domain. It does, it's not like it goes bad. It's not like, food in the fridge that's got a best before date. Go ahead and add some time to your domain. Typically, they're sold in 1-year increments, and do that now so that your domain is always alive and you own it. Worry about hosting and other stuff and rebuilding websites. We can talk about that later. But this is critical, and I don't want to have that phone conversation with you when you call me up and say, hey, Matthew, can you tell me what's wrong here? Do it now, because it's so simple to fix, so difficult to restore later on. It's a real pain in the butt. So if you're still here watching this, head over here and watch these other videos. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash that subscriber button, ring the bell icon, and that way you'll be on your way to increasing your car count, income, and profits. I'm Matthew. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. See you soon.